Started. All right. Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hope y'all had a great and blessed day today. It's Wednesday. You know, me and Michelle come and do this little, we were calling it a team training, but I think we might have to find a different name because now we're opening up to everybody. Hey, and we love doing these. It kind of just share tips so you can go back and use them and grow your business as well. And we love having guests on here where we can ask them questions and hopefully share something that can help you guys out. And tonight we actually have the honor of somebody I got to meet in person, about 2 months ago now, and actually had already heard about him and watched a lot of his videos and different things on YouTube before I even got to meet him, and then just learned so much from him in like 2 days. It was like 2 days of me just talking with him and learning a lot. And that's Steve, and he's like a big brother to me. He's very funny. If you haven't noticed, he is funny. He he likes to have fun, and that's what this business is all about. You don't have to be all serious, you guys. That's what I loved about it. I mean, when I was 21 years of age, for anybody who didn't know when I got started, you couldn't come to me being all serious about something, and I was still a kid. So, and that's what I love about this. And I love having my co-host here as well. She hosted with me as Michelle. And so, like always, I love to let my sister go first with her questions that she asked Steve, and then I'll ask a couple of questions, and then we'll probably open it up. And if anybody has a question for Steve as well, y'all feel welcome to answer as well. But I'm going to pass it to Michelle, my sister, and she's actually going to share with you guys. She's actually going to ask questions to Steve first.
All right. Thank you. And thank you so much, Steve, for being with us tonight. We really appreciate you taking the time to join us and share with us. We'd like to run this with a little bit of a Q&A, and we have some questions that we would like to pick your brain about. And we have been doing a lot of training here in the last few weeks on personal development, on building teams, on things that we can do as individuals to help us get outside of our comfort zone and maybe limited places where we come into this business where maybe we have self-doubt or limiting beliefs or limited social sphere. And so that's kind of what we've been teaching on. But one of the things that's been on my mind here in about the last week or so is more the mindset shift that it requires to move from that place where you're kind of in the mindset of just getting by, having a job, you're struggling to make ends meet perhaps, and then moving from there towards a wealth mindset, towards building a wealthy lifestyle, building a legacy for children, for you to pass down, for you to be able to have that option like we talked about when you first hopped on, where you can pretty much choose to go and live wherever you want because of choices that you've made with this business. So I would love to just get your take on what it takes to move from that broke or job mindset towards the wealth mentality that allows the shift from where we're just having enough to pay for our product to now you have that ability, that flexibility to do pretty much go where you want and do what you want. So the floor is all yours.
Oh, yeah,
and I take while you're talking.
Or should I just switch the background out? Or does it look good? Or is it good to go? Or is it cool? Or the background if I have? Is that good?
I think it's fine.
Okay.
Doesn't bother me any.
Virtual background from ARIIX. All right. So listen, I never claim to know everything at all. Personal development is a big landmine, and it can be good, but it can also be like a landmine. It's an easy thing to go and do to replace actual building the business. But that being said, we all have read something, we've seen something, and we said, gosh, I would want something more than where I have it right now, right? Like in other words, I want to do something, but I'm not able to do it. Why is that? Because maybe I don't know how to make that kind of money or whatever it is. There's something that's going to be stopping you, and then I wouldn't even talk to myself like, oh, I have like a broke mentality. Oh, I have a job mentality. that's pretty negative, you know? It's like, no, you have a job and you're like making a living to freaking pay your bills. Like, duh, hello, right? So you're doing that, and maybe you're doing a little more than that. So never like feel bad for where you're at. Like, now you could be ticked off. It's usually something negative that gets us going, right? So you don't have to have the passion of, man, I'm so passionate about the water bottle. Oh my gosh, it's just, no. I mean, I know all the things about the water bottle. For instance, it could be any product. But it doesn't necessarily have to be yours, big passion. Maybe your biggest thing is, you know, I want to control my own life. And what is that? What's controlling me now? Where I make money, right? Like, in other words, how do I fix that up? So then you start saying, okay, well, what do I got to do to fix that? And don't feel bad about where you are. If something's making, in other words, I got a job in corporate America right after the Army, but I tried to like not do it. I was an Army officer, and I have a lot of experience. By 30, you know, I've been in charge of hundreds of people and all this kind of stuff, and reporting to big generals and everything else. And, you know, it's a lot of responsibility. It's not just a normal job. Like, it's not the normal job. You got to worry about people 24 hours a day. If somebody doesn't cut their lawn, it looks bad on your leadership. What the hell is that? I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine if you had a job and everyone at Dell, they didn't do something when they went home? They just like neglected crap, or they didn't take care of their family, they didn't pay their bills. It reflects back on you. So you learn a bigger responsibility, right? And so not everyone's going to experience that. Not everyone has my experiences. No, I don't have your experiences, Michelle. I don't have Anthony's experiences. I don't have Andy's experience. I don't have I don't have all your experiences. You all have your own. And be excited about that. Don't feel like you need to be me. But what you need to do is be consistent, and you need to have tenacity not to change course every 3 seconds. I think my dad used to say a really good saying. My dad was a college football coach, athletic director, working on big programs, and, you know, people trying to perform better, right? Like, try to be better athletes, try to be better teams. And so he always said, don't reinvent your life every day, right? And what does that mean? That means if you're constantly doing personal development things that are changing your focus, then you're screwing yourself up, right? Now, I didn't even know I was going to start talking about this, but that's pretty much it. The business is fairly simple. You need to get good at inviting people to look at stuff. If no one's looking at stuff you're inviting them to, your inviting needs to work on it. You need to work on it. And it's not all that glamorous, but it's like the whole point of I mean, that's where the start of the business is, your mindset. So in other words, don't wait for someone to tell you what to do. You got to be a little more proactive when it's versus a job. A job, you can kind of like, oh, well, you can be proactive in your job, but there's like, you know, maybe someone telling you what to do all the time. And here, not always the structure, right? No one's really watching what you're doing this evening, right? You could be like, oh, I'm on here, but I'm also like looking at Instagram, and what this guy, this bald dude from California is talking to me. He looks old as crap. What the hell? I don't know. Whatever. Like, that could be your attitude. Or you could be like, you know what? I'm going to learn one thing from this person. They've made, who else do you know besides people in ARIIX and Limu and all the different brands that we have? Who else do you know that has made multiple 7 figures from the comfort of their home without a job? Like, you're talking to someone like that. So if that's somebody that you want to learn from, then take some of the advice. Maybe you take one thing. Maybe you take 2 things. But the attitude that you have to have is that you have to make it happen. The biggest hurdle in the beginning is your mindset. Is it going to work? Am I going to look stupid? I don't want to look stupid. When someone says they don't have a big social influence, what they're saying is, I don't feel comfortable reaching out beyond my network. I don't feel comfortable talking to the guy that just fixed my car, right? Because it's weird. It's because you're not confident in what you would be saying to the person, how you would invite them, how you would listen to the person. And so a lot of us are pitching too much, and we're not listening and finding out what's going on with somebody and like becoming their friend and then inviting them. So the big mindset shift, I think, is one, don't beat yourself up for where you are. Don't beat yourself up for your results. It's pretty simple. The more people you get to look at a presentation, the better chances are you're going to have. That's just really it. If you had to write down on a piece of paper right now, like, we should almost do a chat or something. Like, we should be like doing this. I can't freaking read. Where's my eyes? My glasses actually broke. I don't even wear. I just wear glasses to look at little fine print on the computer. But if I was to say to you right now, grab a piece of paper. What is it? Wednesday. So I'll give you last week, and type in the chat. Be honest. Hello. Are you guys in the chat at all? I don't see anybody typing. Hello. Am I wrong? Or is that to me? Do I see everybody? I don't think. Or can I see everybody? Okay. So write down right now. Be honest. And even if you're a leader, I don't want to show everyone I didn't do it, right? How many people did you, hey, what's up? How many people did you speak to last week about the business? Write that number down right now. Okay, that's honest. Thank you, Brian. 2. Okay. 1. Okay. Hi, Steve. Hey, what's up, Michelle? 10, 8. Okay. All right. 10. 1, 2. Okay. You can keep rolling them in. So how many people, okay, so you think about that number, okay? All week, so like 7 days. Maybe you don't work a Sunday. I don't know. Maybe there's a Saturday-ish, but it's 5 days a week. And you have 2. Well, dude, you can't even get good. Does that make sense? Like, you can't get good at it. The worst, listen, you have to screw it up a bunch of times. You have to give yourself more chances. So if you could move to a model that you're like, okay, well, 1, I got to get more numbers going through it. And numbers don't mean they're just a number. You're going to see that the way I do it, I don't think of it that way. But I got to get more volume of leads, because if I call 2 people all week, 1 is homeschooling their kid. They're like going crazy. They don't know. There's something happened, like someone crashed into their car. The other one ghosted you. Now you're like 0 for 2 and you got nothing going on and you're wondering. So then it makes you start to reflect inside yourself. Okay. Now there's 3 booby traps. I learned this from Tim Sales because he's a bomb squad guy. Of course he wants to know a freaking booby trap, right? Like, I don't even know what a booby trap. When I was in the military, like booby traps was like one little thing. When I was in tanks, like we just run over that crap. So anyways, so a booby trap, something that you're not expected, that like basically takes you out, right? You don't know what's happening, but it's a booby trap. The first booby trap, okay, and this is where pretty much a lot of people are, is basically where you focus. It's called introversion. Any people introverting out there? Introverting. Okay. So what it does is I focus, instead of on Michelle, her pretty smile, and Anthony's good looking smile, and instead of focusing on my prospect, I focus in on myself. Okay. Booby trap number 1 is what? Write it down. Write it in the thing. What is it? Introverting. Okay. I know you probably have 50,000 other questions, but it doesn't even matter. This is the stuff that matters. Introverting. So you have to get past this one or you'll not make it. You won't make it in the business, and you'll be one of those people that's, I tried, you know, I was in ARIIX for a little bit, and I tried it I was in Limu, and then they switched to ARIIX. It's confusing. I don't know. And then we got like New Age, and like I tried a little bit, but then like I didn't really do it. Strike it all up to a bunch of freaking excuses, right? And what it is you didn't feel confident. So what happens is if we introvert in ourselves, what we're doing is we're focusing on how we sound. Do I have the right script? How do I sound? Do I sound stupid? You know, like, do I come across? So this is the stuff. I don't want to talk to my buddy at like Dell Computer because, dude, that guy's going to think I'm an idiot. I've joined something or whatever, right? So we worry about what other people are thinking, that they're probably not even thinking that, but we think they're thinking that. So we're introverting and we don't want to look stupid. So we practice our scripts. We kind of sound like we're robots and that kind of thing. And if you stay in introversion, you won't make it. You might still buy products, but you won't make it. You won't make the business, and you'll come up with an excuse. It'd be those guys like in the bar. Yeah, I tried it, but you know, it didn't work. Right? You'll be one of those. That's just what it is. Okay. So how do you get out of this? Okay, you got to practice how to invite people. I'm going to do a podcast because I'm going to bring back the freaking podcast for ARIIX. Okay, I'm going to bring it back because people will tell me and they're right. I got to bring it back. I'm bringing it back. And I'm going to talk to you about the inviting formula, 10 communication qualities. These are gold in your business. We couldn't even cover all that in like right now, but we might have to, because I think it's like the essence. So the introversion, I focus on myself. How do I get out of this? I got to practice invite. I got to drill. I got to practice. When they ask me this question, okay, how do you answer that? Like they say this, okay, that, okay. What do I say to people to get them to speak to me more? Well, Michelle, where are you from? Well, tell me about yourself. I can do it with Michelle. Michelle, I don't know much. Where are you from, Michelle?
I'm a Colorado native, born and raised.
What part of Colorado? So
I'm in
Colorado. I don't know what she's going to ask. So I can't just say, oh, that's great. See, if I say, oh, that's great, what the hell do I do with that, right? So like, so if I say to Michelle, okay, a Colorado native, born and raised. So I'm going to follow along with her, being interested in her. I just met her. So what part of, like, where in Colorado?
We're now in the southeast portion of Denver, so just outside the metro area.
How do you like it? I mean, where did you actually grow up?
I grew up on the western slope, went to college over in Gunnison, and then moved back to Denver.
So what could you use from this information? Gunnison, I don't know what Gunnison is. So she's saying things that maybe I should assume I know, but if I've been to Denver, I mean, I've been to the Mile High Stadium, I've been through different parts of Colorado, but like, I don't remember it all, right? So like, I was like, well, I don't understand, like, what school is in Gunnison, right? I can ask that question, right? She can't go, yes, no. She has to tell me about it, right? So what school's in Gunnison?
Western State.
I think I've heard of Western State. What did you study there?
I have a bachelor's in psychology, minors in Latin American history and Spanish language.
Wow, so you can speak Spanish?
I can.
Very cool. So what do you do now? See, do you see where I take it? What do you do now for a living? This is part of this greeting process. So this is called being interested in your prospect. Okay. So when you're trying to get out of like focusing on your own fears, you got to put those aside, take a breath, and sit down and talk to people like this. Not, hey, Michelle, have you heard about ARIIX? Should check this thing out. Lima, I got this Blue Frog stuff. Like, do you take energy drinks? Wow. If you do, check it out. She's like, dude, I'm dead right now. Like, I don't care. Get away from me. You're weird. Right? So we pitch too fast and we don't listen. If we sit down with someone, we could do it on phone, we could do it on a FaceTime, and we really get to know somebody, then while listening to them, we'll figure out what's happening and how we should invite that person without giving up too much information where they assume they know everything. And it doesn't always work out, but it usually works out pretty well either way. Okay, it works out pretty well that you can do this. So out of introversion, you got to do this. You basically got to do, you got to put your fears aside, drill on this. And then when you get in front of a prospect, spend your time learning how to invite them properly, using the correct communication qualities. So you're not, too assertive, not assertive enough. You're not talking all about yourself. You're all these things, right? So those are some communication qualities. So you're aware of those during this inviting process. And the better you get at this, the more time you spend with the people, then you're going to be focusing on helping them get past their fears, their things that they want, and you're no longer focused on yours. Does that make any sense? I hope so.
Yeah, that makes good.
That's the only way you can do it. And then you got to do more numbers, meaning you got to get conversations with more people, right? Meaning you got to strike up some conversations. Maybe it's on Facebook, maybe it's on Instagram. You start following people, you make comments, and you start building relationships. But then you have other ones, and you got to have more so that you can do like 5, 5, and 3. I would tell some people to do more every day, but you got to do 5, 5, 3. 5 invites, 5 follow-ups, and 3 people watching a presentation every day. I'm trying to get you out of your jobs. The personal development will happen in all the conversations that you're having. The big key is don't take it personal and don't quit when crap doesn't go right. Just be like, oh my gosh, I cannot. I had people hang up on me. I've had people say, dude, you're a scammer. Screw you. I was like, oh my, and I get mad. I didn't have all this. I was like, oh, what are you talking about? And so like, I've been through the gamut, and so the better you can get at this process. Then you're going to be more valuable to someone you bring in the business. It's like, hey, here's what happens. People say this stuff, and you can work through it. But if you're not doing enough volume of people coming through, then you're just like a philosopher, right? Like, oh yeah, this is like a professor. Now I've never done it, but let me teach about it. Well, great, right? That's what happens. So to get out of the introversion, where you can get yourself going, you got to overcome. You have to just say, you know what? I'm gonna overcome my fear. I'm gonna train myself. I'm gonna practice back and forth with somebody. We're gonna go back and forth. I'm gonna learn about people. You want to know how to do it? Call up someone that you know in your team and start asking them questions about themselves. Like, where are they from? How long did they do that? Where did you work at Dell? How did you get a job there? Interesting things, because you're interested. You just focus on that part right now. Okay, you get that going with the person. You meet someone on Facebook, you make some comments, say, oh my gosh, I noticed you have a yellow Labrador. Gosh, I had a lab. How long have you had your lab? How did you tell me about your dog, right? And then it's like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. What do you do for a living, right? We don't know where it's going, but we're building the relationship. The whole business, every which way, at the highest level, it's all relationship building, okay? That's what you got to do. So that'll get you out of introverting. So you overcome your fears with it. You got to say, you know what, I just got to suck it. I got to do this. And I'm going to practice. I'm going to drill this stuff. And then I'm going to sit down with my prospects and spend more time with them and be really interested in them. And I'm going to invite them, and I'm going to help them overcome their fears. You focus on your prospects' fears instead of yours, and the magic will start to happen. And all of a sudden you'll start sponsoring people. And then you'll be like, dude, and then all of a sudden you'll become the person. Everyone's like, how'd you sponsor all these people? Right? And you'll be like, well, I mean, and you'll be like looking for the secret, right? And you're like, what's the secret, right? Like, this is what I just told you. Right? This is what I did. I slowed it down. I learned more about people, and then I did more numbers. I got more people. I said, okay, I don't have any leads. Well, that's the wrong thing to say. I don't have this. I don't have this. How do I find more? Ask yourself better questions. What can I do to get more? Don't go join some stupid third system or some other thing, or someone teaches you. No. There's ways to get leads on Facebook, on Instagram. There's ways to connect with people. There's communities you're a part of. There's Facebook groups that you can learn about that you're interested in. There's a Facebook group for anything, okay? And you could get in there. Just don't pitch in there, and just build relationships, and people will start to learn about you, okay? You can go about your day. There's so many different things you can do to generate the leads, okay? So that's how you get introversion. Now, once you start sponsoring people, you're going to run into another booby trap, and that is, Anthony, no one's doing anything. I can't motivate my downline, my team. I can't motivate them, right? So you're going to run into that. And so you're going to be like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I do with this? And what you have to do is you have to slow it down, right? You have to have the people training with you, watching you do the business. So if they're on a meeting, you can even throw them in, hey, I'm going to do a 3-way call. They're not going to know you're on the phone. Just listen into this conversation, right? And have someone, you can train someone like that. If you've had success. If you haven't had success, having someone come and listen to your failed phone call sucks. It's not going to work, right? So you need to get your success, right? Like, you need to get your success, right? And so that's where you got to overcome, and don't quit during that part. You're trying to get out of introverting. The reason I didn't make much money in my first year in network marketing, for 6 months, I was kind of like, man, I don't know. I would call people, but then like they would say stuff to me, and I would take it personally. And I was all like caught up in that. And then it had to be a reason that drove me seeing my daughter go to daycare. I was like, no way, bullcrap. And so then I used all the skills, and I just said, you know what? I don't care what people think. I'm going to be as genuine and nice to people. I'm going to try to learn how to talk to every single type of person. But I can't worry about something that I don't know. Someone might be thinking about me, and who cares, right? And so my intentions aren't evil. My intentions are good. I want to help them make more money. I want to help them get healthier. I want to help them whatever. So I can't feel bad about that. So now, once you get past that first booby trap, the second one is basically no one's doing anything, right? You can't get anyone to do anything. And what you need to do is slow down and train people on the process. You need to slow down, work with your people a little more to get them trained up on the process, okay? And then don't stop recruiting yourself for customers and reps. Don't stop doing that. Don't become the manager. Never go into management mode in your business ever. Always stay in building mode. You just have to. Okay. Now, could I chill out a little? I have, but I've chilled out a little bit over the last year. I've had life things happen, whatever. You can make your excuses, whatever. We've all had it. And I haven't been as engaged, but I've also been wasting time because right now is the greatest time in the history of our business. So we all have to be working it. I have a couple of new recruits I'm working on. I'm getting more people coming through, looking at information, and that's what I have to do that myself. So stay in building mode. You don't have, if you want, like I'm telling you, what you want, the future you want, and all the things you can't even imagine are inside of this. But you got to stay focused. And you got to say, I'm going to learn whatever I have to learn to get better. And I'm not going to go become a coach. I'm not going to go become this and become that and try to like get away from other things that are actually building the business. Most people, I've seen so many people do that and they just waste their freaking time. So what you have to do when you're looking around and no one's really doing much, slow down, grab Michelle and say, Michelle, hey, listen, you got to learn this. I got everyone to do. What's going on in your business? And then you'll start to see who is putting in the effort. And then when you see that person, really work with them, team up with them. They may not always be the people you sponsor. It's the way it goes, okay? The third booby trap was basically where it's like a velvet, like you're in a rut, like you've been in the business, you're making pretty good money, but you ain't making the money that you're like, the real money, right? The money that you're like, I can't even, like the kind of money you really wanted to make, but you're making decent, right? But you get in this rut where it's kind of velvety. It's like still nice. You know, I mean, like I make pretty good money, but it's not like the dream money that I wanted. And the best thing you can do that is get back, start sponsoring people, get back in the game. Don't worry about it. Like, and sponsor some new people and help them get through this. So those are some of the big ones. The biggest one is the introverting on yourself and beating ourselves up about this stuff. Don't do it. We've all done it. We can all go slower. We all have stuff happen to us, but this business, once you get it up and running, it's pretty it's pretty forgiving. Meaning, you know, like if I didn't call a soul for the next year, guys, I'd make more money than like so many people. But that doesn't. So what? Like, who cares? But it's that kind of situation. But I put in the work in the initial, and I kept doing stuff, and I built relationships with people, but I will tell you, you want to stay in the build mode. So your mindset will shift as you start to gain more success, okay? But you can't have success, first of all, if you had one person look at a presentation last week and the week before you had 0, great. But try to increase those numbers. 5, 5, 3. I want 5 people to invite. 5 people I'm going to strike up conversations with, see what's going on with them, and maybe invite them based on our conversations, invite them. I'm going to have 5 people I follow up with, and I want 3 of the 5, or if I have to call someone back and they didn't look at it, I want 3 videos watched every day. If you do that for 2 months, talk to me about your success. You'll be on the headlines. But what happens to us? We do it for a couple of days. Oh my gosh, it's hard, and no one looked. It might take you 3-4 weeks just to get good, right? It might take you 3 weeks just to get some momentum. Here's what happens. If we take 1 day off in our business, meaning like, where's Anthony? I can't see him. He's not here. Hi guys, I'm back, right? Right? If that's you, you know it for yourself. You take 1 day off, you lose 5 days of some momentum. So let's say you start getting this going. You're like, you know what? And I'm not talking about Sundays. You can do what you want. I never really worked on Sundays for whatever reason. It wasn't religious reasons. I just didn't do it. You know, I just never did that much. But 6 days a week, I had somebody looking at something, calling someone back, trying to push it forward, pushing the ball forward, getting 1% better every day. Okay, 1%, not 100% better, 1% better every day. At a year, you'll be 365% better than where you are now. Okay, so if you look at that and you say, okay, I am going to get my numbers getting going, and I'm going to work on inviting. I'm going to look when someone says they're not interested. You can always get feedback from them and say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to try to pitch you. Can you just tell me why you aren't interested? And they'll give you feedback. And you say, oh my gosh, I didn't even know I said that. Okay, thank you very much. and then take it. Don't try to pitch them, and go take mental notes. Oh my gosh, I sound too abrupt. Oh my gosh, I'm too assertive. Oh my, so that's where you have to start doing, just to get the numbers going so you can give yourself a chance to be successful. And all the personal development things that you're doing, I'm telling you, in the process of this, you'll learn so much of what to do. You'll be doing personal development that actually builds your business versus, just doing goal setting or things like that, right? Or, and we all can use inspirational stories. The reason we come to these calls is we hear testimonials from somebody, and we can use that in talking to our prospects. That's why you're always plugged in. So stay consistent and that kind of stuff. So I'm sorry I went long-winded. I'm sure I don't have a few, a couple
No,
more.
that's okay. That was all extremely valuable. I think I have like 5 pages of notes already. So as people are beginning to implement that 5-5-3 system that you're talking about, we all, whether it's a lot of them or a few of them, we all have people who we would say are maybe our high value prospects, people who have a lot of connections, people who we see could be very good at this. And I've seen for myself, I know I have done this, where I want to invite them, I want to share, because I think they could be very good at this, very successful, and it could be a good fit for them. But because I'm new and learning, I blow it. And I kind of
try to replicate what you did with one of these people, with me. Like, I'm the person. What did you try to do? And this can be vulnerable. You have to be honest, because it can help a lot of people. So guys, don't look at Michelle. She's the leader. She's putting this call on. If she gets vulnerable and shows she screwed something up, that's all. That's who cares. That's what we're here for. Otherwise, we're just dancing around going, oh, Steve was great. Nothing happens, right? So I coach football. So it's like, I was in the military. We basically watched film of all the crap we messed up in a game, all the stupid calls we made, everything like that. Like, it's almost monotonous, right? So that's what you kind of gotta do in your business. Otherwise, you're not taking stock of, the best thing that happened to me when I was early in the business, I had a mentor that was making a lot of money. To me, it was a lot of money, 300 grand at that time. And I was making like 60 grand in Dell, right? He was making 300 at his house. And I was able to listen to him talk to prospects. I got people on the phone with him. I got them interested, got them on the phone, and then just shut up and listened. And then soon I could replicate what he was saying. Is that the most duplicatable thing in the world? No, but I was in the game on it. I was learning. I was finding out. I was building my belief. His talking made me more excited, right? So anyways, so the conversation.
So would you encourage people to work on their skills before approaching those people, like their chicken list people, the ones they're afraid to call, who could be really good, but they don't want to blow that opportunity?
Oh, yeah, but don't do it for 3 years, right? Like, understand what you're trying to do in the conversations. So go ahead, give me an example of somebody, and let's do it. I'll be the person. Can you remember?
Yes, and probably I won't go like total role play on this, because my tendency is to overshare. So it's just like, you start the conversation, you do the chit chat. Hey, how's it going? Been a while since we talked. What's going on with you?
Who's the person to you? Who are they? Do you know?
This is somebody who was a mentor of mine in my business, business mentor in my photography business.
Okay.
So someone who I respect greatly. Very successful.
When was the last time you talked to him?
Prior to reaching out?
Yeah.
Probably 4 or 5 months.
Okay. So go ahead.
So, she's very busy, so try not to take up too much of her time. But it's the sincerity was the thing that I thought of for her. She does maternity photography, and our clients we have a similar client base. And so, a specific product, I thought, what, this is something that I can give like as a thank you gift to my clients if I know that they've had this issue with the stretch marks and whatever. And so I reached out and I said, I know that you love you really pride yourself on taking good care of your clients, and I've found something that could potentially be a way for you to add additional value to your clientele. And would you take the time, a few minutes to take a look? And she said, yeah, I'll take a look. And then I sent her the video, and she just fired back a text that said, nope, not interested, not doing network marketing. And then I asked for the feedback, and she wouldn't even respond to me.
Yeah, because you didn't do any of the things I was saying, which is invite. So it's that, first of all, great job for reaching out. Don't stop doing this. Now let's just do it a little better. Right?
Yeah.
So you did it. So you got the cojones, whatever you want to call it. You want to got the gumption or whatever you want to say. I don't know. You had the guts to do it. Very good. But don't let that stinger realize. What does that highlight? The stinger meaning, I hated that when she texts me back, no, not interested. And you're just like, oh, right? Like part of us inside of us wants to just go, oh, right? So like, what can we learn from that? What do you think can you learn from it? What do you know about her right now?
I know that it would have been something that would have gone over better.
What do you know about her right now in this? You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't, and this isn't a beat up. This is what we got to do with everybody.
Right.
We got to do with everybody. Big prospects, whatever small prospects is, whatever, right? Me, you, whoever, right? This is what we got to do. Talk to someone who's a network marketing person with a huge team and they're looking to join another team. We got to do with that. We got to do it with the waiter who's like, I don't know, man, this job sucks. We got to do it with them too. But we specifically need to do it because I bet I could have talked to that person, and I'm not saying they would have joined, but I bet if I would have talked to them the way I do it, they probably would have been like, huh. But I would have never gotten that stupid message, right? Right? Maybe I would have eventually. But probably not, right?
So how do you set that up then for when you share the
happen, right?
What's that?
I said I wouldn't let that happen. So what you got to do I haven't talked to them in a while. You got to do a catch up. Catch up with them. How's it going? Hey, even if it's like they're so busy and they look and you have to look up. So this person in their mind's above you, right? Because I was your mentor, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit trickier there, but like it's not that much. But like you got to just be like, hey, I just wanted to reach out to you and give them a compliment about it. Say, hey, I want to just, I was thinking about you today. The mentorship, even if you had your idea, I want to show them network marketing, not necessarily the one product. You had an idea of, I would like them to be in the business, right? Now you could use the approach of the product eventually, whatever, but like right now you got to get them to like look, right? You had no indication that they would look and you threw it up there and they said, nope. And so it's like hey, here it is. Nope, right? Why? Why was there very little chance of success with that? Well, the reason was, is basically, and this is what you guys got to all do. And a lot of people don't like to talk about it. A lot of people just say, hey, just give me a duplicatable system. I'll just show them this video and then they'll this and then this. Yeah, they might, but you better do this before, otherwise no one's going to look at anything. And what it is in the greeting. Okay, so in the inviting formula, step 1 is a greeting. I just need you to understand this. Like, can you guys see me okay?
Your head's cutting in and out with the background.
Stupid background. Where's the stupid background at? Settings. Preferences. Background. And then I'll have to go in a few. How do you know background? There you go. Is that good?
Yep.
It's still showing up on your shirt. Mostly, it's weird. It's like.
What is
It's
this?
just on your shirt.
It's like it's hiding.
What the hell? Help me!
You just have a shirt. It looks like your shirt is the background.
None. Oh, well, if you
go.
click the big button that says none, that might work. Hello. Okay, sorry about that. So how do I do this with you guys? So this will be the last thing we do, but you gotta learn it. So there's this goes left to right. Is that correct? I'm here to hold this for you guys.
Yeah.
This is your left. So step one of any conversation is this thing called a greeting. Okay? And in the greeting, what do I talk to people about? Hey, Michelle, how are you? What do you do for a living? How long have you been here? How you got a psychology degree? Right? Greeting. Get the person. What's the goal of the greeting? Not say hello. Greeting isn't hi. Now I'm moving to the next step. No. Seriously, greeting is you're asking them about. Some people would like to say things like, they've done these insurance sales things, but it's really talk to them about their friends. Talk to them about their life, what they do for a living, all the things that's going on in their life. Step one is the greeting, okay? And this is where the person talks freely and openly to you, okay? They're freely talking, they're openly talking about things in their life. You could be talking about the Denver Broncos, but then, they're openly speaking to you about the fact that their job is actually in jeopardy, right? They're starting to tell you like they're upset because their husband's always working, right? Something like this, right? So they're starting to show that, right? That's the greeting. And you have to lead them with the questions, which is whatever you're talking about. I used to live in Gunnison. I don't know what Gunnison is. For me to just say, okay, that's stupid. I say, I don't understand. What's Gunnison? Oh, okay, it's a city. Oh, okay, I got it. And so you grew up there, you went to school, you went to school there, right? And so that that makes you start talking about it, right? So, and this could be talking to someone on an airplane, this could be talking to someone on Facebook once they start, that could be the Labrador Retriever conversation leads into, well, what do you do for a living? And they're like, da-da-da-da-da-da. You're like, oh my gosh, really, da-da-da-da-da-da, right? But if you don't do a good greeting, it doesn't matter what you do, okay? So good greeting, and this might take 20 minutes, just in this section, okay? Next one is qualify. What does the person need, want, or doesn't want? Like, I don't want to work at my job. I need to make more money. I need my kids to be home. I want to not have to go to work here, okay? So that's the greeting. Then there's invite. That's the invite to have them come watch the video, okay? So the greeting, I get them to speak openly and freely, qualify, find out what they need, want, or don't want. As I'm talking to them, I said, well, what would you like to be doing? They're like, I would just like to make some more money so I don't have to do, drive Uber anymore. Oh, boom, ding, 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 right? Why are you having to drive Uber? Well, I want to pay for my kids' private school. Oh, wow. See, now I know what's going on with them. Does that make sense, Michelle?
It does.
Now it's a different feeling of the conversation. This is what I do with every prospect, okay? What you did, and so then I would say, hey, I've got a quick video that might help you, especially with the pandemic things. I have a couple of little videos. I got one I can invite you to that could help. I've got a video that I could help, that I could show you how you could help pay for your kids' tuition. Would you want to see it? Yeah. Now I'm inviting them. What you did with your gal, your mentor, is you skipped step 1 and 2 and went right to 3 and got smoked, basically.
Yep.
Okay. So then handle question. And in this, you might have never got to the invite to get rejected, but you would have known, right? Maybe you stayed in a greeting for like 3 or 5 more months, right? She doesn't even know what you're up to yet. Because maybe she's like, I got to go here. I said, okay, no problem. Couldn't get to it, right? Right? That's okay. I have to have more prospects. I got to have more than one prospect for the week, okay? So, and she's not lost forever either, okay? So 1 and 2 and 3. 4 is one that can happen anywhere. Handle questions or objections. They might have a question. They might have an objection. I don't want to do network marketing, but, right? Which was an objection on the text, which you didn't get to respond to because it's on text, right? So, or you didn't get an answer from. You didn't hear the tone of voice, all those things. Okay, so these 4 steps, handle questions or objections can happen anywhere. 5 is close to action. Have them like determine a time when to call them back or when to follow up with them, and I'd make it specific. You'll do this and they'll do that. They'll watch a video and you'll call them back at 2, right? And then step 6 is follow up. You follow up with them, and then once they join or buy the products, you follow through to help them get results. That's the inviting formula. And what happened to you and what happens to everyone is they skip 1 and 2, or they really suck at 1 and 2 because they don't because it feels uncomfortable to ask people questions like this. They feel weird about it. But had you sat down with your mentor lady and said, hey, I just want to I just call you up and say, hey, I just want to let you know, like you've meant so much to me, blah, 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 blah. I really appreciate what you've been doing, and they're like, oh man, thanks so much. She's like, how's your family doing? How's everything going? And maybe she's like, I don't have time. It's like, okay, no problem. Maybe we can catch up sometime. Yeah, call me next week on Tuesday. I'll try to call you next week. Maybe it goes there, right? But when you get in the call, ask her about her life. Do you know anything about her life?
Absolutely.
Ask about those things. How's this going? How's that going? That's exciting. Sounds like you're making more money than ever, right? Yeah. Well, not really. Huh, I wish. Oh, what do you wish it would be? Then you start cracking open the little things, right?
So it seems to be a little easier when somebody says, yeah, I wish, or no, I hate my job, or
they say, great, say, that's so awesome. I mean, congratulations. I'm so happy for you. And sometimes you don't take it anywhere, right? And then
be okay with not taking it somewhere.
Like you, someone that's a mentor, you could say, hey, I know you would never be interested in earning multiple 6 figures outside of what you're doing, but do you know anybody who might want to learn how to make an extra income like that? What do you mean? I was just on the phone call. I was just interviewing a guy who makes 7 figures from home. He should be an Army officer. It's crazy. Well, no one makes money in that. Well, I just got off the phone with one that does. And I work with multiple people who do. So do you have anybody, right? So my whole point, Michelle, I got to go. I have to go somewhere, guys, just so you know. But that conversation, right, is the key. The first part. All of you talking to your friend, your brother. Sit down and have a real conversation. People, you can't just settle with, oh, it's going good. Really? What do you mean good? How's it going with the pandemic? How you guys been hanging up? And let people start talking to you about their life. And then you can follow along with them. And they may indicate things that they could use, that they could do. And then you can decide if it's a product invite or it's a business.
That's awesome. And thank you so much for all of that, Steve. I have
analytical, it's a little bit thick stuff, but if you don't do this, it's really hard to just message people and you're just gonna get rejected and you're gonna be like, this sucks, I don't want to do this anymore. If you got 5 of those, no thanks, never marketing, right? If you got 6 of those in a row, most people would probably just quit, right? Because they don't have the goal in mind. Really, you're trying to build these 2 legs. It's that 2 lines in ARIIX's comp plan built. It's not easy to do, but I wouldn't do anything for the next 5 years but do that. I have a job, I would just be working on that. That's all I would do. If I only had 2 people look last week, know that I gotta get more numbers in there, right? I gotta get more people looking at stuff. Otherwise, I can't do it. I can't. The odds are it's gonna take too long. That's all, right? So it could still work. It's going to be painful, slow.
Momentum breeds momentum, right?
Who's going to be in Dallas? Okay, we'll be in Dallas. We'll see Friday.
Will see you here.
Thursday night. We're going to rock it. I got to roll. So sorry, guys.
No, it's okay. We tried to keep it under an hour, so we very much appreciate your time. Thank you so much for everything that you shared with us. We appreciate you, Steve.
Well, we'll see you.
Steve. See you Thursday.
I'm coming to your area, bro. Watch yourself.
All right, see you tomorrow, bro.
Thanks, everybody, for showing up. All right, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Wow. I'm like you, Michelle. I have a lot of notes. And everybody, hey, we like to keep it under the hour. I didn't even have to ask my question because he led into that. Just some very great things. And one of the things, the biggest takeaway for me, you guys, was the numbers. And the best way I can say, hey, you got to be willing to be bad before you're good and good before you're great. You got to be willing to get those knows and go through the little process and, hey, find somebody and practice with them. If you don't feel you're good enough, find somebody and practice with them before you do reach out to your friend on Facebook or before you call them up on the phone, because I would definitely be calling maybe somebody on this call, hey, could I practice with you real quick? I just want to try this out beforehand. I highly encourage you guys to watch this over and over. This would probably be something I personally watch on a daily basis just to learn those nuggets. And he'll be here in Dallas. So for anybody who is coming to Dallas, feel free to, I can definitely, text Steve and you can come have dinner with us or wherever. You just let us know. Let me know what time you're coming in and we'll make it happen. But it is going to be awesome, you guys, this weekend. For everybody who is coming and anybody who's not coming, be sure to get the link and go register for the event where you can watch it online. Watch at least some of it. And I'll do my best to try to grab little clips if they allow us to record and different things like that. But, hey, hopefully y'all can make it this weekend. If not, I truly understand with everything going on. It will be worth your time. So if you're thinking like, oh, I don't have the time, it would definitely be worth the time and the money to be there. And, I see Tanya just commenting in chat, and I don't think me and Tanya, since I've known Tanya, I don't think we've missed an event. Me and Pat Klepper, Mama Pat's on here, and it's a lot of different things. Over the 9 years, I've never missed an event. Has business always been sky high? Nope. But one of the things that have helped me out over the years is showing up at events. Even when things happen like my mom's house burned down, even when things happen like my grandmother had a stroke, even when I had cousins pass away and good friends pass away, I still showed up to the event. Did it hurt? Was it painful? Yes. But most of the time when you're going through the most adversity, that's when you're really about to break through. You just got to keep pushing, you guys. But did you have anything else you wanted to share, Michelle, before we shut it down?
I don't think so. That was an awesome call. Great information tonight. I don't think you need to say anything else after that.
Awesome. Well, okay. All right, everybody. I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to stop it. And then I will have it up on YouTube